Okay, so I want to talk about Facebook now. Facebook and Twitter, because these are tools that a lot of people are touting as a great way to find a job.
Yep.
I don't necessarily disagree. I think they're better used as ways to do research. But my own daughter, who starts off the front of this book this time, because it was you and Alan last time.
Yep.
She used a targeted Facebook ad campaign.
Yep.
And an email chain letter campaign combined, and in the space of the 5 hours I was in flight when I started talking to her and when I finally landed, she got 2 hits in 3 days. She landed an offer, and away she went. So she understands how to use the tools. Not everybody does. So if you were looking for a job, forget about you're you now.
Yep.
You're 39 years old, right? Forget about the college stuff. You're 39 years old. I'm lying. People can tell.
I have brown hair, but I met David.
What would you do if you were got 15, 20 years experience? Maybe you know Facebook. You're a little bit afraid of it. Maybe you've heard of Twitter.
Yep.
You're like Betty White, and you're on the Twitter.
Yep.
How could you use those tools to help in a job search?
Okay. This is actually a common question I get, even from my clients on the marketing side. A lot of people are 39 years old, and they're old school marketers, and suddenly they know they need to go to the digital media because that's where the trade is going. So it's no different whether you're looking for a job or marketing or selling. And so we have this conversation a lot. So I'm going to give you some really stupid advice that's it's nothing sexy or glamorous. And I've had this conversation with my wife many times, because she is also 39 years old and in that same situation, which is Google tools, figure them out, read how other people have used them. This is how anything I've learned, beyond reading books like David's, of course, is simply by learning from others. So
what do you suggest? You go to Google and go.
You go to Google and
how
you
to get a job using Facebook?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
Or how to Facebook ads. You don't know. Maybe one of your tactics is, because one of the things on Facebook is you can get so specific because they have the demographics. I want to target men or women, your choice, who are ages 30 to 40, who are in North Dakota.
And left-handed. And
left-handed, who play golf, but only on days that end in Y. So, if you... So...
That wasn't funny.
That's okay. Made you think. And then you can buy an ad. And the ads are relatively affordable because you're being... the more specific you are, the more affordable they are. It's like Google doing a long-tail search. The more specific you are, the more affordable they are. And then you do some compelling copy. That is a fantastic way to get introduced to them. All right. So the next thing is that you can use tools like Google and Google Sites, which are part of Google Apps, which you can get for free to make mini web pages or to make landing pages. So you can actually link these ads to your own website or your own landing page, and you've got at this point in time only the cost of the ad, which was so specific that it's cost you nothing fundamentally. So that's the thing. The other things are like tools like Twitter. Don't use the Twitter client. It's awful.
What do you mean?
Don't go to twitter.com and use it if you want to, but it's not going to get you what you really need. You use a tool like a TweetDeck or Hootsuite or Social Oomph. Those are 3 different clients that are all very robust and popular and free, unless you want the pro version.
So by clients, you mean these are
the
programs,
interface programs on your PC or Mac that you can use, and most of them have mobile smartphone versions too.
Okay.
And you can put so many search terms there, it's scary. You can have thousands of search terms. All right, and that's the big thing. The other part is you can use these tools for.
So if my daughter was looking for a job as a corn pollinator,
yes, she could.
Could you put that search in, and if anybody posted a job that says, we're looking for a corn pollinator.
Yes.
Wow.
It would find it, and you make every permutation possible. Corn space pollinator, corn underscore pollinator, corn pollen. Whatever you can think of, all these permutations. And the best part is tools like, again, I use Hootsuite, but all 3 are really robust. And the nice thing about these tools is, like, for example, Hootsuite can actually it can sit and monitor Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and other social networks. So you're not spending your time going all over the place. You're going to one place.
So if you had your list of top 10 employers,
Yep.
You could go and you could probably go to Twitter and find out if anyone in that company tweets, right?
That's right.
And then could you tag them so that every time they tweet, you would see what they're talking about?
Yes.
And I would imagine, because I know it's starting to happen, especially if you're a student, HR now tweets jobs instead of posting them on a job board because they turn so quickly. But every department, especially in high tech,
Yep.
marketing will be tweeting, engineering will be tweeting, and I guess you get a pretty good idea of what their issues are and where they're going. And so will TweetDeck or Hootsuite help you monitor that?
Yes, it will. It'll help you set alerts to home run yards. And the beauty of that is you can do you can go two ways with that. One is when you see the people that are target companies you want to follow, you're now following them. Okay. IBM, Disney, whatever they might be. Then you can actually start retweeting individuals' tweets. People notice that. So if you tweet something, and then I retweet your tweet, you go, oh, look at Daryl's retweeting me. And I see it happen a few times. Daryl likes what I'm saying.
So you're getting a relationship.
I'm getting a relationship.
You're starting a conversation.
And then I can
even haven't talked.
Exactly. And then I do a follow, and you've actually seen me retweet you several times, and now I'm following you. Fine. I didn't follow right away. I followed after
You're a stalker.
A couple of days. I'm stalking.
But
digital
this is
stalker.
Okay.
It's okay because now you like me because I'm an advocate of you. Okay. So you follow me back because there's trust and credibility. Now that you followed me back and we're following each other on Twitter, I can send you a direct message.
So I have the right to talk to you now.
And I have the right to talk to you. And that's the beauty of it, right? So that's part one. That's how you get into the hiring managers and the influencers on the jobs, all right? And I'm going to bring it back to LinkedIn in a second, and something you talk about in your book. The second part is if the hiring manager is sending a tweet, they're monitoring it, or they're using the tool. So be different. Make a video about why you would rock at that job, and then tweet back to them with a link to your video. And use a service like Bitly or TinyURL that you can actually monitor how many links you get, and if the HR manager has actually tweeted on it. That's the second part. The third thing is you talk about this in LinkedIn, where you talk about actually finding people. If you want to go work for ABC company, finding all the people who have worked at ABC company.
Oh yeah, networking with the newly departed is still amazing. Prime on the platform.
And what I love about what you say is you say a lot of stuff, but a couple of things that really resonated with me was the idea that you could literally find these people on LinkedIn who used to work at ABC, and reach out to them, send them a message, whatever, and say or even track them down because they'll put their new employer. And now I'm at XYZ and I'm in this position. So you call up XYZ at 11 o'clock at night. You use the automated tree. You track them down. You leave my voicemail. Hi, John Doe. I saw your resume on LinkedIn. Give me a call. All right. So they call you back. They think you're a recruiter, and you say, Hey, John, thanks a lot. Listen. I'm not a recruiter, but what it is I'm trying to get in touch with somebody at ABC. But before I do that, is it a good place to work at? Oh, yeah, it is, or no, it's not. Great, you want to know that. But yeah, it is. Great. Who should I be talking to in this department? Oh, yeah. And
you bring up a really good point. Every book I've ever read says you have to personalize your resume and your cover letter. What most people interpret it when they read that is to change the person's name and title.
Form letter, change the name.
And for me, what that means is if I'm going to send a letter, just like if I'm going for new clients, if I'm going to send a letter to a client, I'm going to research from people that used to work there, find out what their issues are, so that when I send them the letter, it's right straight to the heart. Here are the 3 issues I know you have.
Yep.
And by the way, I've solved those before, and want to have a coffee.
And that's the credibility play, going full circle. The used car salesman, the whole idea, it's credibility. And then it's trust, and then I listen to what you have to say. So whether you're marketing or you're selling, that's what you're doing. You're looking for a job.
Now I got to tell you, I never thought to do it with Twitter.
It's just one more vehicle, right? And for credibility, you're sitting there going, I can never do that. I don't have that acumen. Again, I'll go full circle. As David says, I'm 39-ish. I didn't know that. How did I learn that? Well, full circle to what I said. I Googled how are other people doing it, and there was no one resource out there that had all this, but by reading a lot of different articles, you're doing that, you're doing that, you're doing that,
and you find something you're comfortable with.
You find something you're comfortable with, and then you make it your own, all right? So you don't think you have to invent this and get all in and freaked out by it. Rip people off, plagiarize. The book has got so many tools in it. It's scary, and I'm not trying to advocate David's book. What I'm trying to say is, it's a great starting point. He's going to get you going so many ways. As I mentioned to David before, and I've said publicly, you know, even today as a professional marketer, trying to find new business for myself and my clients, I'll often use a lot of the tactics that are here because they equally apply.
Yeah, and of course, where did I get it from? I got it from reading every book Jay ever wrote, and then some.
And the best part is, of course, even your case, you know, that's maybe your foundation, but then you've seen all the people who have adopted the book and made it their own and used it in ways you didn't initially think of.
Correct.
And now we're in version 3, so those have come back into the version.
Correct.
So it's no different than me saying go to Google and read how people have done it. You've done the same thing,
yeah.
only you have a relationship with them because of the book series.
Cool. Daryl, thank you very much.
No problem.